Black Brilliance, shining a memoir of motivational moments found within as defining the purpose of one's humanity. Today, I introduce you to R.W. Hall.
I am R.W. Hall, and this is BLAQ Brilliance. In the world of construction, many years ago, I was working for the telephone company, and I was doing computer work for them, a tab industry, round discs, rolling pans. And what had happened, I had went to a insurance company nearby on Jamaica Avenue, and they said, come back when you have 6 months of experience. So don't you know, after working for the telephone company for 6 months, I went back to the company, insurance company, and they said, yes, come in, can you come and work for us in the nighttime? I said, of course. I was always constantly trying to work, and work timing, just keep working, it didn't matter to me. So I went to work for them, and about a month passed, and they said, oh, Mr. Hall, we're sorry we have to let you go. I said, what? We have to bring in some professionals from the IBM company to help us catch up with all of our work and our programs and stuff. I said, okay. I had nothing to be able to say about it. I just had to say thank you very much and goodbye. You know, things happen in life that you cannot always depend on one way or the next way, or, you know, as you try to plan something out, it doesn't always work the way you plan it. But you know what? I was a drummer as well. I was on the beach one day with some friends, and we took our drums, our kungas, to the beach, like a beach party. And what happened? This gentleman walked up to me. His name was Bob White. And he said, hey, fella, can you play a cha-cha-cha? Can you play a mumbo? During that time, I was playing, we had little groups going on and bands. Me and Milford Graves, one of my friends that lived upstairs from me, we did a lot of drumming, so I was good. You know, I was only 16, but I was ahead of my game. And so what happened is the guy said, do you think you can play with my orchestra? I have an orchestra, the Bob White Orchestra. And I said, oh, of course, I would love to. So he says, okay, meet me on Friday. Come. I said, where? He said, at the train station on Woodhaven Boulevard. He said, do you have a tuxedo? I said, a tuxedo? What? He said, yes. Do you have a tuxedo? I said, no, I don't. He said, well, wear a black dark suit. I started playing many different places with him. I was so astounded of what monies was spent on those type of events that they have, weddings and things of that kind. You know, that was the first time I had seen caviar. I said, what is this on the tray? He said, that's caviar, like little marbles or something. And I tried it because I had always seen movie pictures with caviar, and it said, oh, this is caviar, great. Okay, so boy, did I, that didn't taste good at all. It was so salty. But that was a part of my life that was really, really a wonderful thing. I was learning about the world. When I was a drummer, drumming at Bernice Johnson's dance studios and things, the different studios, in the projects, we used to sit out on the bench and play a lot of drums all the time. And people used to come from all around because they heard the sound of the drums. I had one of the new fellas that moved into the project. Bob Beeman, he always wanted to learn how to play the drums. Bob Beeman became a very good friend of mine, a good buddy. We used to always run, and you know, we had JYO track and field running teams and stuff, PAL, different things in the projects. We had little teams we would divide up, maybe 5 of us. 5 this team, 5, and we used to jump over the fence, jump over the chains, jump over the benches. We never knew that our lives were going to change in certain ways. One day, I happened to see on television, this is after high school, and I saw the Olympics on television, and I saw this person doing the running broad jump. He had broke the world's champion record that particular time. And I don't know if I heard the name or not that day, but I remember seeing this guy walk up the path, the dirt trail, and he had won. I had no idea that he was one of my best friends, Bob Beeman. He had changed. He was short at one time. So now seeing him tall on television didn't reflect my thinking. But it wasn't until years later I had found out that this gentleman who won the world champion broad jump, running broad jump, was my best friend, Bob Beeman. And Bob had gone to college and was part of that college life, and he was still champion. He was champion for 20-something years. No one could break his record. He truly was an inspiration for me because he gave me, do you know what it feels like to meet and have old buddies, old friends, sit around and talk about lives that you once had as friends, your younger years? It's some of the best times in your life. I was enjoying myself. It was right after I got married. I was invited to perform at the New York City World's Fair. At this fair, that was 1964, the New York City World's Fair, to be a part of the African Pavilion. At that time, the African Pavilion, they had people from Kenya, they had people from Nigeria performing with different entertainers, Gus Denny Zulu, Lester Wilson, Chuck Davis. You know, Chuck Davis was highly, what would you say, respected as a performer. He appeared as one of the Watusi dancers at the African Pavilion in the World's Fair. And Chuck and I always used to have a lot of fun with our entertaining. He was a tall person. He always used to look at me down and say, "Saumba, let's go do it." I said, "Okay, Chuck, let's make it happen." That was a very wonderful time of my particular life. Young, never knowing where I was going to be going, but I always had the entertainment music world to fall back on. Mr. Cedric Clark, activist. He was the youth director in the United Neighbors Civic Association, as well as Ruth and Ruth. Their relentless presence gave me an encouragement, gave me an inner desire to be like them. One of the reasons why when I went into construction and had my building, I thought only that this building is also going to house the United Neighbors Civic Association. Because prior to that, we had to meet in people's basements, call up different people, ask them if we could use their house for the meeting, or call Rochdale. I mean, it was a task to have the Friday night meetings and have our youth participate in fun and games, that we had to always try to, what would you say, find a place for them to enjoy life as well. When you are in a family, you not only have family with your blood family, but you have family with organizations. Many years I speak about Cedric Clark and the Ruths, who were United Neighbors Civic Association members, and that made the organization work. I began to see another part of the world, nurture. But one of the things he was a communicator, and also something of his personality allowed people to like him. Do you know, during the time when James Brown, you know James Brown, the dancer and the singer, ho, ho, you know, that kind of thing? Well, James Brown at the time was touring in New York. And Mr. Clark had gotten us an audience with James Brown while he was leaving on his airplane in Kennedy Airport. At that time, just meeting James Brown gave us an inspiration. And do you know what he did? He invited us, the UNC African drummers and dancers, to be a part of his show at the Yankee Stadium. And boy and girl, were we happy and thrilled. You have to remember, these are youngsters here. They were 16, 15, 14, 17, all ages in the teenage group. When James Brown invited us there, oh boy, we were happy, and we did a performance with James Brown at Yankee Stadium.
Join us for our conclusion of R.W. Hall on BLAQ